You know, I was in the countryside this weekend and I was committing the normal countryside things. And then I realized a huge portion of my audience has committed terrible war crimes in the Yugoslav war and subsequently doing their very best to forget all about it. However, there's a select few of you who keep sponsoring the channel in a desperate attempt to make me go back there and live out the glory days despite public backlash. And you know what? I admire that because it takes courage to stand up against a society hell-bent on forcing you to conform and stamp out your individuality. I do realize that you have committed terrible crimes against innocent people, and I am getting paid to justify such terrible actions. But the reality is, I accepted the money. So today we're playing Croatia, Slavonia, which are the two best provinces in the entire Metternich system. Croatia has coal, and Slavonia has... Anyway, we are a crown land, and we are ruled by our Ban, Franjo Vlasic. Legally speaking... Classic Balkan laws. We should definitely get rid of the guild system. Alright guys, here's the economic plan. We're gonna lower taxes and then we're going to... perhaps we can focus on being the trade center of the empire. Of course, if we get our independence, we have to get iron somehow. Now of course we're going to do the annoying vassal thing of constantly asking our overlord for things they'll refuse to give us so we can increase our liberty desire. Now I know some of you are questioning this whole independence thing, looking at our classic Balkan economy.
I use a lot of junk.
However, with the proper nudge, the economy will certainly explode.
No, apparently it's been deactivated, over.
That's right. Deactivate.
Just trust me guys, I know what I'm doing. In the meantime, we're going to profit from the Austrian trade. But once we get our independence, we're going to form something like the Danubian states. I mean, think about the civil war potential. I can't wait. The spring of the people, perfect. We're going to leverage the rising tide of radicalism to Brexit our way out of Austria. More power to the trade unions. Now that's what I'm talking about. We should also get a proper education system. And we can also add Catholic organized schools or secularized schools. Obviously, I much prefer a godless regime. They make for the best civil wars, wouldn't you agree? And yet another school choice. Should we provide school supplies or shall we make the school education system suck? We'll pay for it this time. And we're actually making money by importing and exporting stuff. That's so much better than having arable lands, raw materials, light or heavy industry, or a military industrial complex. Trust me guys, I know what I'm doing with the economy. Alright, a secularized, government-funded public education system. My favorite. Alright, let's get the Republicans in the government and get the monarchists out of the bureaucracy. Also, I just noticed the Croatian culture is obsessed with tobacco.
I want to be somewhere familiar. I want to know where the exits are, and I want to be allowed to smoke.
We should definitely lobby the Central Austrian government to conquer Bosnia for tobacco purposes. And it seems that the 16-year-old Spanish queen lost the civil war. Women! Am I right guys? Finally, elected bureaucrats, which means we can focus on having a real economic system. We just need to add the rural folk to the government, which looks disgusting. A timeless Balkan classic. Legislative failure. Man, the classics just keep on coming. I guess we're gonna need a dedicated police force. End of spring? Crap! I wasted my valuable legislative time doing nothing. Can you guys tell we're in the Balkans yet? Nationalism? Oh boy. It is time for us to dismantle Austria by using foreign propaganda. Crap! I can't because I'm a vassal. Alright then, it's time for us to dismantle the Ottomans. Oh no, I have to get my shit together first. Well, that's just unrealistic. And what just happened? The Austrians just destroyed the market. I despise being a vassal. If I had an economy, it would be in the toilet by now. Alright, it is time for the first step of our Brexit plan. Increase our autonomy. We will have to give Austria an obligation, but this will give us a 67% chance. Hell yeah! And we are now a feudal monarchy, ruled by our Kaiser, Ferdinand von Habsburg Lothringen. Now then, all we have to do is get rid of the monarchy, and we shall be free. Wait a minute, I can't change the governance principles, because I'm a vassal. Well, that's new. I'm sorry guys, but we can't Brexit our way out. Alright then, here's another plan. We're gonna go to Vienna, kill the Kaiser, take our independence, and Hungary. Go to the Winchester and have a nice cold pint.
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
Yeah, boy!
A classic Balkan plan. We should focus on agrarianism for now. And we're also going to open our very first munitions factory. That's right, all of the military supplies of the Austrian Empire will go through Croatia, so we can murder it our way out. Now then, we're going to support Hungary's independence, so long as they support ours. Love, the Kaiser. The Ottomans will also help. Now, in case you guys are wondering if I'm to negotiate with the Kaiser, it's very clear to see that I am actually his inner demons. Fun fact, the first person who was ever diagnosed with split personality schizophrenia was also the second person to be diagnosed with split personality schizophrenia. Hello fellow vassal of Hungary, it is I, the Kaiser. I am glad to declare I'm increasing your rent. Remember kids, identity theft is no joke. Also, we have our very own explosives factory, so I can have something to eat at the Kaiser during his annual visit. Or am I the Kaiser? I have no idea. I'm starting to feel like I'm psychologically afflicted. A classic Habsburg experience. Oh no, the powerful clout of the landowners has become a menacing presence over our government, and one of our agents has approached me with a less conventional solution. Blow them. That's what I always say. And now we have securing the power journal entry. This is certainly new and exciting. And finally we can produce superior sausage. Oh, I'm sorry guys. I don't mean to offend or start a world war, but I simply despise Vienna sausages. I need something a bit more girthy in my mouth, if you know what I'm saying. And our terror campaign has been successful. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I didn't do anything, but I shall take all of the credit and the extra legitimacy. Am I a Balkan politician or what? Finally, a real economic system. We should definitely get proportional taxation. Well, that was quick and easy. Now we have to establish a dedicated police service. I'm sorry guys, I don't want to call it the force. It sounds too aggressive. And we can finally get 2 more construction sectors as our private investment is about to explode. Just look at the reforms go. Now obviously we have to get rid of this whole subjecthood mentality. Instead we should focus on cultural exclusion. Because the most important thing, fuck, Hungary is declaring war for our independences. And just as the economy was going well, and also Austria is demanding to lower my autonomy and literally wants nothing from Hungary. Alright, well, we are clearly going to lose this one. However, if I capitulate, Austria will lose their only war goal, giving Hungary a slim chance to win. Alright guys, I know some of you are disappointed in me for refusing to stand up for my people, but in my defense, I really want the money. And now we're back to being a crown land with our Ban, Wazar Majuranic, an evil royalist bastard who has sold out our people so he can profit. It's definitely him. God, I hate that guy. What a piece of shit. Wait a minute, when did the Prussians join? Why are there 2 wars against Hungary? Split personality schizophrenia. Am I right guys? Well, there goes a Hungary. 1 more left. And we have cultural exclusion. Now then, we can focus on having a parliamentary republic, because the game doesn't care that I'm a subject anymore. I'm so confused. Classic Balkan politics. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Am I going to acknowledge that my neighboring country is in a mass-scale war for their survival? Of course not. Instead, I shall pretend to be the victim. Like, when are we invading Bosnia? Have you seen the tobacco prices lately? This is resource blackmail. Austria capitulated. Wait a minute, we're independent now. And the empire is completely dismantled. But most importantly, it's all going according to plan. Realistically, I don't deserve to call myself the liberator of Croatia. But I will. Now of course we have to fix the economy by accepting Prussian investments, Russian investments, British investments. Because if there's one thing true about the Balkans, we are desperate for more foreign money. And now we have a parliamentary republic, and we have our chancellor, Wazar Mazuranic, in charge of our oligarchy. And of course we have to take all the land from the stinking landowners and redistribute it among all the oligarchs. God knows they deserve it. Now the one thing the economy needs right now is some more tobacco. Have you seen the prices lately? Every time I buy smokes from the grocery store, it's killing me. Luckily for us, I'm going to negotiate with the Queen of Britain and leverage our high production of ammunition, coal, and groceries so we can bring in the basics. She declined my proposal. Women. Am I right guys? Alright then, we're going to focus on the most basic essentials, such as yachts, guns, and sulfur. And of course the French will open up their market to all of our stuff, making us a ton of money. Now the stinking absolutist can eat donkey balls, but unfortunately we're gonna have to postpone the land reforms in favor of a national guard. It is time for us to establish the unique Croatian company, Mate Gavrilović I Druk, a based sausage company, which unfortunately unfortunately doesn't give us a unique prestige sausage, which is quite unrealistic, especially after the logo clearly says Tvornica sausage. Hang on a minute, the Prussians are funding lobbies in Croatia. Now I know some of you insist that pocketing money from foreign governments to push their interests is blatant corruption, but no, it's lobbying and it's completely different. Anyway, I want to reveal our brand new foreign policy strategy. We're going to join Zoverein at our earliest convenience, which will benefit our markets. I'm not just saying that because I'm getting paid. Promise. Anyway, we're gonna get our independence guaranteed by the Prussians. We're also going to sprinkle in a comprehensive trade agreement, deepening the cooperation between our nations. And you guys thought I was doing it because I was getting paid. Ridiculous. Now obviously I promised a godless regime, so we're going to get thorough separation. And we have nitroglycerin. Finally, our economy is about to explode with the one coal mine playing tall. Am I right, guys? Now Hungary is an insignificant power because they've declared bankruptcy. Obviously, I can just annex them for 150 infamy, so I guess I'll make them our protectorate. Even though they have a bigger army than us, they only have 66 military points, whilst we have 900, because we don't pay our soldiers with bread. Obviously, I'm going to take this opportunity to take Hungary's independence and all of their money, which is what awaits Hungary. The second, Viktor Orban is no longer prime minister. It's common knowledge. No one paid me to say this. Promise. Serbia is also involved. Don't worry guys, they'll pay for this. Thorough separation. Finally, we can have a proper government and commit to laissez-faire economics, which will allow us to create an ultra-wealthy Epstein class. Remember guys, we might conquer Hungary, take their independence and all of their wealth, but I still want them to feel like they're home. Also, World War I is about to kick in because something happened in the Balkans. Classic Balkans. Serbia capitulated and the Prussians are no longer guaranteeing our independence. Crap. The market didn't like that. Hungary capitulated. Hey, wait a minute. Why aren't they paying me money? Damn it, I hate the Balkans. Anyway, we've successfully managed to expand the Croatian market, plundering all of Hungary, which means we have a severe shortage of paper and the economy is going to shit. Damn it. That's alright guys, we have united the Netherlands, who are the world's biggest producers of paper. All we have to do is give their merchants preferential treatment and all of our paper shortages disappear. See that guys? Without my expert leadership, Hungary would have bankrupted for a second time. Realistically, I don't deserve to call myself the savior of Hungary, but I'll do it. Holy shit, Germany's happening. Obviously, we have to join them so we can take our rightful land occupied by the evil French. Oh crap, I don't have an interest. Give me a second guys. Yeah, the Netherlands joined and the Prussians refused my help. And just look at this continent at war. Russians, Ottomans and British are fighting to our east. Austrians, Prussians, Dutch and French are fighting to our west. It is only Croatia who maintain peace and stability. Now realistically, I don't deserve to call myself the peacekeeper, but I will. And it seems that Galicia Wodomeria has also declared bankruptcy. We're going to attack them so we can make them our protectorate. They back down. There you go guys, I kept the peace. Wait a minute, Prussia just gave up. It's probably because they're planning to invade Krakow. I simply have to make them our protectorate, for their protection, of course. Krakow backs down. Whew! Yet another unnecessary war avoided. Damn, I'm good. How do I do it? And finally, the economic reforms our children desperately needed. We should definitely get universal suffrage. Oh no, unarmed protesters. Not on my watch. Open fire, open fire. Man, this takes me back to Croatia in the 90s. What a time to be alive. Am I right guys? Alright, we paid off a bunch of our debt. The private investment is booming and our military expansion is on its way. The only thing that can make this better is elections. And just look at this plethora of political parties. Alright guys, I have to know, if this was your choice, who would you vote for? The Red Scare, oh my god guys, the very first smear campaign. Classic Balkan elections. And the Prussians are attacking again. Damn it, I'm in the middle of elections. And the Social Democrat Party managed to win. Although realistically, there are no losers in elections, except for the intelligentsia. Holy shit, they completely disappeared. And we can have a grand coalition with our Chancellor, Peter Stupar. Now after this massive socialist victory, we definitely need a public health insurance. Now I am aware that some of the conservative people keep saying stuff like public health care is the first step to towards establishing communism. But that's ridiculous. The spectre hunting the world. Damn it, the conservatives were right. Well, I'm sorry guys, but there's no turning back now. It's time for a cancel republic. And we can also have another company. I'm going to get the generic paper one. And I shall also allow them to cut the forest down. Classic paper company. A world to win, and it seems that I have to choose between regulatory bodies, which will increase safety standards in our factories, preventing workers and children to be mangled by the industrial machines, and drastically reduce the hazardous rain of people body parts on the factory floor, which is a common sight in 1800s factories. Alternatively, we can get wage subsidies, and I can live out my wildest communist fantasies of increasing wages. Prioritize financial damage to my political opponents, a common communist tactic. Even more elections, and the Socialist Democratic Party shut up the polls. It's almost as if I paid them by increasing their wages. We're also reducing Galicia's autonomy so we can balance the budget. And 4 more years for everyone's favorite chancellor, Peter Stupor. Communism! Exactly what you voted for. And of course, you also voted for a comprehensive land reform. Now of course there's a massive revolt going on. Apparently these people didn't realize they were voting for communism. But there's a quick and easy solution. Invade the Zulu. That's right, these evil African people shall no longer oppress us. Okay, well, it didn't work. This means we shall postpone the land reforms. Instead, we shall get the right of assembly. Now obviously, with a firm foothold in South Africa, we simply have to invade all of these evil capitalist countries who are full of gold, iron, and other evil capitalist things we desperately need. Obviously, we're defeating all of these enemies of the state so we can secure our financial security, political security, secure security. We no longer have censorship. Listen here guys, it is imperative for you to stop reading the local newspapers as we are currently attempting to fix the evil corrupt capitalist economic system. As I'm certain you'll hear many fake news, such as we're invading African countries, enslaving their people, forcing them to work in inhumane conditions so we can harvest their raw materials and use those blood money to prop up our failed brutalistic regime. You know, those sort of things. Rather, you should focus on the state-sponsored media instead and learn all about our exciting adventures in Africa, the very innovative education practices, the spread of socialism among all indigenous people, which they generously receive in our re-education camps. Remember guys, all of the raw materials that come from Africa are given to us by the local illiterate savage tribes who have no idea what to do with them. Promise. And of course, I have to clarify, Switzerland can eat donkey balls. We firmly support East Switzerland. With that out of the way, we shall unilaterally form the Communist United Union, the most unique communist union of all time. Now in case you guys are wondering, yes, the United States President Cristobal Aguilar is most certainly the first Mexican president. I hate that guy, because he took the job of an honest American. Also, he only speaks Mexican, so no one understands what he's saying. Mexicans. Am I right guys? Also, is this the Gulf of Mexican America now? I'm so confused. Back to Balkan politics, which are way simpler. For you see, our dear chairman is the good guy, and everyone who opposes him is the bad guy. And the economy is about to explode. We should definitely get graduated taxation, incredible elections, respectable results. It seems that we're gonna even more communism. Also, it's time for steel construction. And with this exciting tax reform, we can commit ourselves to abolishing serfdom, which is still a thing by the way. It is also time to leverage our massive coal industry so the government can make money. God, I need money. Classic communism. Hungary demands their independence. Damn it. I do realize that they have more GDP, a bigger army, larger population, all of the resources. But none of this matters because all of the military production is in Croatia. So let's not kid ourselves. Hungary can't possibly win without Viktor Orban. Now this will damage our economic performance. However, I have a genius plan. We're going to defeat this Hungarian revolt, mine all of the gold and resources from our African colonies, go to the Winchester and have a pint.
Yeah, boy!
Honestly, the penalties for constructing in brand new conquered territories are a bit absurd nowadays. You have to wait like 20 years before you can actually build something. It's honestly humiliating. Not as much as Hungary without Orban, but still. Finally, we abolished. So what the hell happened? Where did all the gold reserves go? There were supposed to be like 74,000 here. Oh, I get it. The evil bourgeoisie scum beat down the proletariat, stole all the gold reserves, went to the Winchester, and now they're having a pint. At least that's what I would have done. But don't worry guys, we can fix this by taking some land from Galicia. Adding 500,000 pounds to our GDP will surely increase our debt limit. Whew, that was a close one. We should definitely get workers' protections so we can increase wages even more. Okay, so the budget is performing classic Balkan maneuvers. Alright guys, I get it. This looks pretty bad and most of you don't even want to live here anymore.
Hello?
He's gonna be dead either way.
Ed, that's not the point.
However, no matter how bad things get, Balkan economies will always be able to get back up on its own 2 feet. We just have to click the special button. Now realistically, I probably don't deserve to call myself the savior of the economy, but I will. I mean, what's a decade of stagnation in the grand scheme of things? You know what I mean? And of course, with worker protections, we should also get protectionism and slap a boatload of tariffs, which will bring in fresh cash to the government budget and not stifle trade. Promise. Speaking of promises, it's time for more elections and we have the Communist Party, which will win by quite a lot because everyone loves them, of course. Now we shall start selling steel to the British as we can't afford any construction sectors at the moment. This will keep steel prices high and groceries. But this price spike will revitalize the economy and regular people don't really need steel or groceries. And the Communist Party managed to win fair and square. 4 more years for Peter Stupor. Also, I'm very disappointed that we can't have legendary Croatian sausage, even though groceries are the most expensive thing in our market and I gave them cow farms monopoly, but they're still not making money hand over fist. See that guys? Grocery prices aren't too high. It's Western propaganda. I mean, just look at the executive, Bernard Mandic. More like capitalist loser, am I right guys? Alright, we have construction sectors, we have private investors, and it's all done on minimum taxing because communism, tariffs, and fixing elections is an effective governing strategy. And of course, our chairman Peter is a devout anarchist, which means we need multiculturalism. No longer shall we discriminate against the African Croatians who have been exploited so we can plunder all of their resources, which was never actually happening, but it won't happen ever again. We're also going to take some more Galicia land, as it will be much better utilized under our management. And now of course, in order for us to fix the economy, we need to fix the unemployment by banning children from working. Instead, they're gonna have to join a mandatory re-education camp for kids. Even more elections, and it seems that the communists have a real chance to win. Wow! Remember guys, the elections weren't stolen, it's Western propaganda. And we need one more legislative change so we can achieve peak communism. That's right, religious persecution, because our chairman Peter Stupor is the only god you need. Finally, a godless regime. And with this authority, we can tax even more. Now that's what I live for. And now we have the positivist church. That sounds pretty good. We shall definitely support it. Whoops, I clicked the suppress button. Sorry guys, force of habit. Obviously, we need more tobacco. These prices are killing me. We desperately need old age pensions, as I'm getting quite old and I need to be compensated by the state for my efforts. Alright, I know what you guys are thinking. How exactly are we going to fund all of those new retirement programs? Plundered gold from Africa. And the Communist Party managed to win free and fair elections. Am I right guys? It's time for us to revive everyone's favorite faction, the Communist United Movement. Come comrades, it is time for us to once again communism the world. And we've also completed the positivist church. Just look at those qualification and education. Now that's a church I can get behind with the state, bulldozing all other religions. And now I present to you the gourmet groceries, which increase your standard of living by 20%. Classic Balkan groceries. We also have pensions and a proper way to fund the pensions. The only thing left for us to do is to enact an anarchy. We're also going to open fire on the Hungarians. We have nothing to fear because they don't have Orban. Unfortunately, the radical movement is revolting, so we're going to have to postpone the anarchy. As you're all probably aware, I'm a free speech absolutist and we murdered Hungarian people. Classic Hungary without Orban. Am I right guys? guys? And it's World War Italy time. No one wants me to join. It's almost as if I'm that weird communist country no one likes to talk to. Free speech. Finally, anyone can say whatever they want. We're also going to unify with Galicia Wodomeria. Austria is attacking Greece, unacceptable. We're going to join Greece unconditionally, allowing the Russian troops to go through our border and humiliate Austria. Now I know some of you are questioning sacrificing Croatian lives just to spite the Austrians, but you guys are forgetting we can drag Hungary into the war. Remember guys, we're not just mindlessly destroying the Austrians, because fuck them. We're mindlessly destroying the Austrians to save Croatian society from the evils of imperialism and capitalism, who will relentlessly attempt to destroy our peoples and steal all of our gold. I'm not getting sexual gratification from humiliating my rivals. Oh yeah. And it's time for us to establish an anarchy. Right on time for the brand new elections. Come on guys, go out there and vote so you can lose your right to vote. Damn it, the liberal movement is actively attempting to block us. I'm sorry guys, but I don't have a choice. We need mass conscription. Also, we managed to max out our workers' protections and no one is getting damaged on the work floor. Additionally, we've increased wages by 50%. There you go guys, my sickest communist fantasy, where the middle class is squeezing the upper classes. Russia is attacking the Ottomans. What a great opportunity to conquer Bosnia and finally fix the tobacco price issue. And we can conscript everyone in the army. Perfect timing. And of course, we're going to drag Hungary into this. What are they gonna do? Alright guys, I hear you. You keep saying stuff like, this endless war can't possibly benefit your average Croatian. However, I saved you from economic collapse, evil capitalist pig dogs, malicious foreign interference. So I deserve your trust on this one. Realistically, your lives suck. But it isn't my fault. I blame economic collapse, evil capitalist pig dogs, malicious foreign interference. We should definitely get an anarchy. This time for real. And yes, some of you keep asking me stuff like, how can I save you from things if they're still present as a problem? But some of you also say stuff like,
everything in this country changed when they let kids of different colors go to the same school.
oh, how could you say such a thing? I'm going to distance myself from you guys and will refuse to answer any more of your questions. Victory on the battlefield, victory on the ballots. Classic Peter Stupor. Am I right guys? And we're also 2 provinces closer towards establishing the Danubian states of anarchy. There is also a massive revolt, so we're gonna put universal suffrage to the vote. And if it fails, it fails. In the meantime, we're going to make Austria our protectorate, as Bavaria is their subject. This will give us 3 more provinces towards Croatia's ultimate form. And we're completely destroying the Austrians. It's not even close. Oh no, I reloaded the save so I can get the anarchist flag. But Peter Stupor died. And now we have a brand new representative, August Tomak. Our country is about to tear itself apart without our dear beloved leader. I was honestly hoping we could have formed the Danubian Republic by the time he died for an epic Tito reference. Unfortunate timing. Personally, I blame the decade of bankruptcy for this failure. But don't worry guys, I got this. We're going to get the world's first wealth voting cancel republic and postpone our country's inevitable civil war for an epic Yugoslav reference. A coup for professional army. What a weird hill to die on. And the coup was successful, so now we have a professional army and a brand new representative, Josip Sterk. Man, this government is complete anarchy. I love it. Now unfortunately, it seems that the Austrian capital is in Bohemia and they simply refuse to call Bavaria into the war. I'm sure they'll give up at some point. They are attempting an invasion every now and again, but this isn't a forever war guys. We're gonna win in no time. And there's a Slovenian uprising. Hilarious. Alright guys, we finally have a functioning government and we have a brand new representative, Velimir Shokcevic, a real-based manly man who is ready to give women equal rights. Also, we can finally electrify Croatia and we can have a brand new company. Wait a minute, we have a unique gold one. Amazing. Unfortunately, I desperately need more minting, so I'm going to get the generic one. Women, the final step towards communism. Am I right guys? We should probably get corporatized unions. As you can clearly see, our economy is definitely booming. Now some of you keep saying stuff like corporatized unions is the first step towards fascism, but that's nonsense. See that guys? We're fine. Alright, that's it. We're enacting a corporate state. I'm sorry guys, but I have no choice. There you go guys, the world's first anarchistic corporate state with multiculturalism, state atheism, collectivized economy, free speech, livable wages, equal rights for women. It's magical. The only thing we need to achieve peak Balkan legislation is colonial exploitation. Now of course I had to reload the save so we can get our brand new Croatian flag. Oh my Balkans, what am I even looking at? And we managed to achieve the Croatian revival. Hell yeah! Just look at that cultural fervor. And with this final law, we are now recognized as a great power. Crap, the Zulus are rebelling, which is blocking our gold shipment. We also have to make a naval invasion as well. Damn it, we're going bankrupt because the Africans decided to beat down their colonial overlords, take all their natural resources for themselves, go to the Winchester and have a pint. Africans. Am I right guys? Man, that was a close one. But we managed to save the day. Realistically, I probably shouldn't call myself the liberator of the African gold, but I'll do it. Another one, damn it. We better wrap this one quickly. Luckily for me, we have trench infantry, the most mobile of military units. God damn it, we're running out of money, and I have to start paying my soldiers in bread. Oh no, I just realized they're also using trench infantry. We physically have no way to win. I'm sorry guys, but I'm going to have to click the button and come back for my gold at a later date. Damn it, the British took my gold. Oh, I get it. The evil British used foreign propaganda to confuse my African Croatians, tricking them into fighting a rebellion, steal all my gold, go to the Winchester and have a pint. At least that's what I would have done. And more bad news. Austria simply refuses to give up, so we're gonna have a forever war. Alright guys, I hear you. You keep saying stuff like those darn Africans, evil capitalist bastards, and definitely not me, the guy in charge. And you know what? I get it, but we need to control ourselves, because realistically, what's a decade of economic stagnation in the grand scheme of things? Now I really hope you guys learned something about Balkan politics, Balkan economics, and Viktor Orban. Until next time.